You are watching Hillsborough Television, programming that keeps you informed about the services and activities of your county government.
The Assistant Executive Director of the Hillsborough County Planning Commission, and this is our first episode of Beyond Today on the Road. We're here in the community of Celebration, a brand new community being planned by the Walt Disney Company, about 20 miles west of Orlando and about 60 miles east of Tampa. Celebration is a new neo-traditional community that incorporates a lot of things from our past neighborhoods, such as alleyways, front porches on the homes, mixing uses in a walkable environment, a town hall, a grocery store, restaurants, all within walking distance, yet new items and parts of our modern life are also incorporated, such as automobiles and technology within the homes. So it is a modern community also. We have a number of elected officials from Hillsborough County with us today, also the school board, and many interested planners learning about Celebration and hoping to get some ideas that we can bring back to Tampa and Hillsborough County to make our community a better place. What makes Celebration exciting is the opportunity to build a community. Communities traditionally have had a closeness about them. Neighbors were accessible and everything was within walking distance. This is a concept not often used in most other new planned communities that depend more on the automobile for transportation.
I think what we've seen today it would be hard not to be impressed no matter where you're from or what you do. But as a developer in Hillsborough County, we like to think that we're always looking for something better to do. We've certainly seen many things here today that are a great improvement on anything we've seen in other places. One of the interesting things here is they're using the CDD, or Community Development District, for financing of such things as infrastructure and their amenity packages. And from all appearances, they've done a wonderful job of that. And I think that people can understand that under this type of bond financing, that they're certainly getting a lot for their money. So I think that's something that we've started using in Hillsborough County. We're using it, others are using it, and certainly if we can do the kind of things they've done here, you know, it's going to make for a better community.
As you enter Celebration, you pass Celebration Place. It is an office building where people within the community can go to work. People outside the community can also work here, which again makes it somewhat unique. This is to help foster the idea of working near where your home is located without spending so much time in traffic. 8 more office buildings are going to be built here in the future. Further down the road is Celebration Health. The philosophy embraces wellness and proactive health management and is also located right in the community. Just around the corner is a golf course. It is a community course that allows children to play along with their parents. The golf club is not a country club, but a public amenity. At the other end of the golf club is the downtown. The local school is very important to a family-oriented community such as Celebration. When we come back, we'll visit the school.
I'm standing in front of the Celebration Teaching Academy, which will ultimately be a school for teachers, but right now is serving as a school for children grades kindergarten through 12 while the Celebration School is being built. The most exciting thing about it, I think, is that it's right in the community. We know that children learn better when their parents are involved with them and involved with their education. And when you have a school that's close to home, that's easy to get to, it makes it so much easier for parents to know what's going on and perhaps to volunteer their time helping out in the school. It's a pretty innovative school. They don't give grades. Students are assessed on the basis of portfolios. In Hillsborough County, we're beginning to do that in some areas. The neatest thing is that the kids and children and the teachers all want to be here. And you can see a tremendous amount of learning going on with children of varying degrees of ability. We have a lot of exceptional students here. We also saw a lot of very bright and capable students and a lot of plain old average kids. It's a real neat environment for learning.
Disney has put extra money into this school to ensure that it becomes a model school. It is based on collaborative learning in a mixed-age environment, allowing older students to become mentors to younger ones, just like in a family. Disney plans on bringing teachers from all over the country to teach them the latest teaching methods so they can return to their local schools with these ideas.
Well, I go to school at Celebration School, and I also work at Max's Cafe, which is in Celebration, and it's really convenient. I'm moving in a couple weeks, so I'll be right here in town. Gonna walk to school, work, and home. It'll be really great. The people here are wonderful. We're all starting to get to know each other and work as a real community.
Adults can not only get involved with the school, but involved with the community by going to town meetings. The town of Celebration is not an incorporated city. It is part of unincorporated Osceola County. The town hall houses the offices of property management. Residents who would like to reserve a room can meet there. It is very easy to spread the word and get neighbors together very quickly for a last-minute meeting. The distinctive yet familiar neighborhoods of Celebration when we return.
Listen to the heartbeat of the earth. All life depends on that beat. The earth has always provided for us. Today, as in the past, we must keep this heart strong. Give back to the earth. Call 1-800-THE-SOIL for your free action packet. Harmony, a partnership with a healthy land.
There are a lot of water features and lowlands throughout the development, and what they've done, instead of changing the course of those, they've integrated them into the development very nicely. I think the most impressive thing that overrides this development is that it's all designed to encourage people to interact with each other. The design features, the emphasis on pedestrian amenities, and just the way the buildings relate to each other. It's a community of inclusiveness and drawing people together. Lots of spots where they're encouraged to congregate at every corner, every block, whereas the trends in the last 20 to 30 years has been to create isolated pockets in our communities that are walled off, or the most important feature is the circulation pattern for the automobile. Here, the most important feature is how you get people to interact, and that's done with a lot of subtle and profound ways.
The retention area on Water Street is handled as an amenity, with the pond serving as the median down Water Street with trees and benches. The houses face the retention pond rather than having the retention pond hidden, or with a chain link fence around it. The slope is not too steep. Water Street is the main connecting street between the residential areas and the downtown. The cross streets have little bridges over the pond. Celebration is dotted with small parks to offer public gathering places for solitude. This is what makes the increased density work. You don't need a large yard when you have a small park down the street. Around the lake is a community park for volleyball, tennis, and swimming. There are also Wetlands Preserves, The wetlands are a vital part of Celebration's plan and the town's natural ecology. Celebration has almost equal portions of wetlands and built-up land in an effort to preserve the native environment and the species that inhabit it.
Celebration gives us the opportunity to do what we need to do and walk around while we're doing it, and that is a pleasure. I think the way that we could incorporate this in our lives in Hillsborough County is by changing the zoning to encourage uses to be next to each other instead of segregated. Here we have housing above the stores and schools close by, and everything's walkable. And as a mother who drives a lot of carpools, it's tremendously appealing to have my children walk to school.
The people who inhabit Celebration can choose from 6 classic home styles, all of which can be found throughout the South. The homes intermingle on tight lots with prices ranging from $130,000 for townhomes to houses that cost over $1 million. Apartments and homes sit side by side in many cases without 6-foot dividing walls, as you would find in most newer planned communities throughout Florida. Down Water Street there will be apartments. Next to them are homes. As you look down the street, you'll notice there are no garages. Wraparound porches greet pedestrians. The garages are accessed through 10-foot wide alleyways behind the homes. Over the garages, in many cases, are granny flats. These apartments are usually 1 bedroom with a kitchen and help the owners make a little extra cash each month to help with the mortgage payment. But more important than that, they provide housing for teachers or young people or elderly to live within the community. The setbacks are close. Some have only 5-foot setbacks from the sidewalk to the front of the home, but it is still very pleasant because of the architectural feel. A lot of homes are abstract interpretations of older types of housing found throughout Florida. They do not duplicate revivals of the past like you might find in Hyde Park, which is very strict about the historic accuracy. These are modern homes that contain the scale and massing of the older homes, and in that sense are similar. What people are purchasing in Celebration isn't square footage, it's a lifestyle, it's the community. Residents spend more time outside and walk around more because every amenity is much more accessible than in a typical community.
Celebration is a combination of all of the unique elements of the little communities that we all love to visit. Everything from Savannah, Charleston, our southern cities that have such charm. The charm here is brought about by the homes close to the street, the lovely lighting that's in place, the sidewalks to everywhere. It really is a beautiful community, a fantasy land, a dream.
When we come back, we'll see other living quarters that don't exist in most new planned communities. Celebration's emphasis is on walking to where you need to go. Residents of Celebration are within walking distance to downtown Celebration. Benches are all over the place. You can almost sit down every 50 to 100 feet in some places, 200 feet in others. There's a fair number of shops, restaurants, a post office, a bank, and a movie theater. On Saturdays, Market Street is transformed into a farmer's market. The shops are typical to Florida with counterparts in Orlando, Key West, and Tampa, found in such areas as Hyde Park and Ybor City.
We've developed a lot of close relationship with the residents. They come out to dinner and at the restaurants, and they come over here and just say hello and do a little shopping with their whole families, the husband, the children, everyone comes in. We always have candy for the children, and the husbands sit on the couch while the women shop, and we just you know, make it more of a family-oriented, as is the whole Celebration concept.
The architects who designed the buildings downtown feel the residents should enjoy the architecture as permanent art. They also feel they have created a legacy. The styles of the buildings were chosen because they resemble buildings in small towns throughout Florida.
One of the really interesting things about Celebration is that it disproves the myth that we have to live in automobile-oriented environments. What this little downtown and this little community prove is that people love to be in walking environments where they can socialize with one another, where they can interact with one another, where they can see pleasant things and be seen. It's a different kind of life than you find in the typical suburb, where if you're not in your car, you can't get there and you can't do it. So this gives me great hope that we can build urban environments or suburban environments that have these characteristics to them. What you see when you look is beautifully landscaped streets with lined with trees, with ornamental light fixtures, with beautifully designed storefronts, with attractive things in the windows. This is the kind of shopping environment that I hope that we'll return to as we build cities in the future.
Commercial and residential uses have not been married so pleasantly as they have in downtown Celebration. The shops and restaurants are on the first floor of the buildings, but above them are apartments. Other apartment buildings have been designed as background buildings, so as not to compete with the other buildings downtown.
What really impresses me is that they created something that's like our own Hyde Park out of the middle of nowhere. You've got reverse frontage on retail and commercial, and you got apartments above it. It's all in a very pedestrian-friendly atmosphere, very walkable, facing a very nice lake down the street, and the housing is right next to it.
Parking is not forgotten. It's merely hidden in a courtyard behind the buildings. A visitor to Celebration would never know the parking lots are there. Little passageways allow the pedestrians access to the storefronts. Some parking is also encouraged on the street.
Thus far, we've just really been impressed with everything they've done. The traditional type neighborhood, a lot of pedestrians, and a lot of emphasis on architecture. It's been a great experiment to come over here and see what they're doing and hopefully bring some of their success over to Tampa.
I'm impressed with everything that I've seen here today. I'm impressed with the way the developers had tried to save the wetlands. It shows a vision on their part. I'm impressed with what Walt Disney tried to do 30 years ago and his vision of it that's coming true today. I don't know whether all the elements would work in Hillsborough County, but I certainly think that they could give it a good try.
I'm really very impressed with Celebration, the Disney community here. I think the most thing I'm impressed with is the flexibility that Disney has put into this area. Obviously a wonderful spot to live in. Can it work in Hillsborough County? Under present regulations, no, but I'm certainly very encouraged with the public officials that are on our tour with us today, seem very willing to talk about how we can make something like Celebration work in Hillsborough County.
Where you can design and plan the whole community and not just a housing development. But we would have to change our land development code and other things, but this is a doable situation. We would be able to do this. And I'm excited about it because I think it has a lot to offer.
Thank you very much for joining us on our first edition of Beyond Today on the Road. I'm Ray Charmonti, your host. Hopefully our tour of Celebration has given you some new ideas that are really not new but old that we can use to make our community a better place.
How do you feel about the quality of our interstate highways, local roads, or bus service? Are they getting better or worse? A team of local and national experts is studying transportation options in the corridor that runs from Oldsmar and Pinellas, east through Tampa, Brandon, Plant City, and into the Lakeland-Polk County area. This study is called the Tampa-Hillsborough Lakeland-Polk Major Investment Study, or MIS. Many agencies are working together, including Heartline, Hillsborough County Metropolitan Planning Organization, Hillsborough County, City of Tampa, City of Plant City, Polk County, City of Lakeland, Polk Transportation Planning Organization, City of Oldsmar, Tampa Bay Commuter Rail Authority, Florida Department of Transportation, U.S. Department of Transportation, and the Pinellas Metropolitan Planning Organization. As part of the study, planners will be asking questions. They want to know how you want your money spent. What types of projects would you want to see? New or expanded roads exclusively? Expanded bus or rail transit services exclusively, or a combination favoring roads, or a combination favoring bus or rail? To fill out a survey, call 1-888-959-RIDE or check out the website. For more information, call the Metropolitan Planning Organization at 272-5940. A true grassroots effort is going on in South County. Ruskin was founded more than 100 years ago by the followers of English philosopher John Ruskin. This quiet, rural community is ready to revitalize. The Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners, business leaders, and residents are working together with the private Ruskin Community Development Foundation to redevelop the area while preserving its heritage. The community is building on work done in 1992 by the University of Florida School of Architecture. Called Focus 41, the project made suggestions on how Ruskin can redevelop its old business district along U.S. Highway 41. Included in this is Saturday cleanup of the roadways and adjacent public ways along US 41. Other plans include focusing on Ruskin's assets and marketing them to their full potential. The area is serene with a small town atmosphere, yet it's close to shopping and other opportunities. There is a public access to Little Manatee River from downtown, and the river feeds into Tampa Bay. Ruskin is an eclectic community. Residents are permanent and seasonal retirees, local businesses, farmers, and minorities. Supporting economic activities include tourism, agriculture, nurseries, construction, manufacturing, and fish farming. These visionaries have a tremendous amount of work ahead of them. Funding will come from various sources such as private foundations, private donors and corporations, pro bono and in-kind contributions, volunteer work, and fundraising events. One of these fundraising events was revived from Ruskin's history, the Florida Tomato Festival. This festival focuses on one of the primary attributes of the community, the tomato industry. To learn more about Ruskin or to help with the cause, call the Ruskin Chamber at 645-3808 or the Hillsborough County City-County Planning Commission at 272-5940.